Good morning, JFA family. I hope that you all have had a great week. This past week in our centered reading, we did 2 Corinthians 9 through 13. And the part that I got out of it was starting in chapter 12 at verse 6. It says, "Even if I should choose to boast, I would not be a fool, because I would be speaking the truth. But I refrain, so no one will think more of me than is warranted by what I say or do, or because of these surpassingly great revelations. Therefore, in order to keep me from becoming conceited, I was given a thorn in my flesh, a messenger of Satan to torment me. 3 times I pleaded with the Lord to take it away from me, but he said to me, 'My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness.' Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weakness, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong." So, breaking down verse 9, "But he said to me, my grace in the Greek is charis." I'm going to butcher these words, by the way, It's probably not even going to be close to how you say it. I'm more fluent in English, so that's good for you guys. But charis, grace, charis, the state of kindness and favor towards someone, often with the focus on a benefit given to the object. So my grace, what I have for you, the benefit that I have for you, what I have in mind for you, is sufficient. It's more than enough. That's all you need. For my power, and power in the Greek is dynamis, ability, miracle. So for my power, my ability, my miracle is made perfect in weaknesses. And weakness in the Greek is asthenia, illness, infirmity. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, about my infirmities, about my illnesses, so that Christ's power, so that his ability, so that his miracle may rest on me, so that my flesh is out of the way, basically. I think that is probably one of the most wisest things to be able to come to have a revelation of, is that we're weak. No matter how hard that we try to be strong on our own, we are weak. But it's with Christ. That's the key. Is that it's when we are with Christ, when we are, like what we're doing, the centered plan, when we're centered on him, that's where he is able to pour his power out in us. He is able to flow through us. When we crucify our flesh, when we take captive our thoughts, whatever it is that causes us to become weak, whatever our weakness is. And I just love that the Greek word for grace, the meaning of it was often with a focus on a benefit given to the object. A lot of times, like in our weaknesses, in my weaknesses, I don't see what the benefit is. I don't see, like, why do I have to be weak? But then when you step back and you look at that he is sufficient for us, that his grace is sufficient for us, that the benefit is that we come to realize that we're not God, that we are his creation, that he created us not to carry all these burdens in this life, but to lean into him. Before the fall of Adam and Eve walked with God and everything was great. But once the fall happened, and sin came in, shame came in, there is a separation that took place. But then he even took that and he turned it around because of Christ. And now in our weaknesses, we're able to boast, because the boasting part of when he's saying that he boasts in his weaknesses now is because he knows that he can't do anything. And so in his weakness, he's saying, you know what? I can't do this, but God. What are some things in maybe your life where you knew that you couldn't do something, but then like God showed up because you allowed yourself to lean into him? And I can share one of my times. It was like 14 years ago. I was a chain smoker. I had gone to the church to confess. I had gone to my friends that I really looked up to tell them what I was doing, hoping that it would just go away. I tried the nicotine patch. I tried the gum. I tried fasting. I tried praying. I tried everything. But the key word in what I just said was that I tried. I was being me-centered instead of Christ-centered. And so I remember one night I went to bed and I laid down and I felt completely defeated. I was like, this is it. I can't do it. No one else can help me do it. It's literally going to have to be all you. And I was just frustrated in my struggle. And the next morning when I woke up, I was like, before I woke up, I was like, when I said my prayer before I went to bed, I said, God, you're going to have to be the one. I don't know. You're going to have to speak a word or something to me because I know that your word is life and that it can help me overcome. So I'm just leaving. The ball is in your court. I've done everything that I've known possible to try and do. And I went to bed. I woke up the next morning. As soon as I opened my eyes, the Holy Spirit spoke to me. And it was like a hammer to my heart. And he said, how can you teach other people to do something that you yourself are doing? In that instant, I cried and it broke. And from that day moving forward, never have I ever desired a cigarette. And I was a chain smoker for 4 years. It was bad. I mean, I was moody, trying to step away from it on my own. But it was in my weakness and realizing my inability to be able to overcome something that I wasn't able to, that it was going to have to be God's power in me that would help me to overcome. And he wants to do the same thing for you also. So whatever it might be that your weakness is right now, maybe that you're struggling with, that you feel like that you just can't shake. You know, when we learn to lean into God and understanding that his grace is sufficient for us, that his power is made perfect in weakness, that we can rest and we can rely on him to take care of us, that it's gonna be okay. So I hope that in the comments that you guys will share from this week what you got out of our centered reading, and I look forward to seeing you all on Sunday. Bye.